My hair is so nappy. All right, y'all. So today's Sunday fun day, and we're all in quarantine. So I know that there's people who miss the gym. I miss it. But there's some things that we can do at home, and Eddie is going to show you guys. If you guys want to tune in, I'll let him take it from here. Yeah, now it's on you.
Because we missed the gym.
Yes, we missed the gym.
We missed the gym, but we don't miss the gym like my baby misses Cracker Barrel. I think, so I'm going to the local gym, and the local gym is at home. That's as local as you can get. That's as local as you can get. But really, I'm going to let everybody work out with me. I'm going to show you. I'm going to try to get the whole body. I'm not going to get like a full routine because I'm going to talk to you. But
hi, Deborah.
You can
hi,
comment,
Jojo.
You can comment and ask me if there's a muscle that you think that you need a gym for, or you think you need a machine for, then I would like to know. I'd like for you to educate me, and then I'll know and I can improve on that. But I'm going to start with saying hello and saying my baby looks so good.
Stop.
But so I'm gonna try to do all that because I don't think that I don't think that there's an exercise or a muscle group that you can work out or you can hit that you need a machine or you need a gym. That's for motivational purposes. That's for encouragement. Maybe you need a partner. Maybe, hey, put your jams on, put your vibes on, and start getting it. You don't need anybody.
Hi, Mark. Hi, Michael. Hi, April.
If you feel like you need somebody, then that's psychological. I don't know how to help you with that. We'll train. That's another video of training. But I'm going to go ahead and put some weight on. Anything that I do, there is a harder version and an easier version. But every muscle group that I'm going to hit, there's a lady who does the exercise routine that I gave her and her husband. They're in their 60s now. And Mark and Lauren, I can't remember their last name, but Mark and Lauren, hello if you're watching. But I mean, if they can do it, I can do it. And once I show you a few moves and show you some of the things that I can do, then if it's not hard enough, tell me. I can give you a harder version. If you want an easier version, if there's something I do and you say, I want to work that out, I want to hit that body part, but that move is too hard, there is an easier way to hit, comment, and I'll show you a different way to hit that. I'm just going to throw a little bit extra on just to make the workout a little fun. And you can get weight vests that are 20, 30, 40. I think 40 is the highest. If you can work out with 50 pounds on your back, you're a beast. I'm a novice beast. So I'm putting out a little bit of weight on top of me. But doing these moves can be challenging enough. If you're going to put weight on top of you, you're trying to get something. My personal goal is to stay fit and to stay strong. I want pliable strength. I want my muscles to look like and be like I use them. I'm not trying to gain mass to get big to look what's called aesthetically pleasing, that I model or something like that. My baby lets me model for her here and then, and she feels like being nice to me. That's about it. But if you want to gain mass, we can do that too, and I can show you how to do it. That is not a personal goal of mine, but I can do that. But that is where diet comes in also, and that's another video. But for now, we can hit every muscle group in the body. And like I said, if I'm missing something, if you think that there's a muscle group that you want to hit, then you think you need a machine for, or you need to go to a gym for, or you need Susie to go with you and hold hands and talk about, you need to gossip with at the same time to hit that muscle group, that's another video. But I'm going to start out with what's called an elevated pike push-up. What I want that for is I like to have the strength to where when I raise one hand, I can see a line in my shoulder, and I don't have to flex. I don't have to do that. I don't have to give directions and say, have you seen my dog? He went that way. And I don't need to do that. I want my muscles to look like they're pliable. I use them. I want to be able to say that I'm physically apt to do any kind of movement, play any kind of sport, and be ready for anything. And I have a little motivational thing that I say to myself, that I say to other people. I say, I stay ready so I don't gotta get ready, and you can too.
And for those of you guys on my Snapchat, y'all have seen him do, y'all seen how strong he is, both with his core and his upper body. Like, he's really strong. So he's going to show y'all some of the things that have helped him get there.
I think basics have helped me stay there. We can do elite moves. We can do the dragon flag. We can do the muscle up. We can do, she calls them a Superman push-up. I call it a Chinese push-up. We can do all those. I'm not doing those 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but I'd like to know, and you would like to know, that you have the strength to do any move you want to do. And if you think you can, or if you think you can't,
you're
either
right.
way, you're right. So I'm going to start off with the elevated pike push-up, and the reason that I hit it, not only am I hit it elevated, I want a little more challenge, and like I said, I want to be able to raise my hand and be able to see a line for definition in my shoulders. So I'm going to hit the elevated pike push-up for my traps, for the shoulders. It's a pushing exercise, but I want to eliminate my pectoral muscles. I want to take my chest out of it because I'm going to add that later on, and I don't want to get tired when I get there. So I'm going to lift on any kind of surface. The higher you go, the harder it gets. And I can put my feet on the table, but I'm going to start out right here because I'm already got some weight on me. So I'm just going to do a little bit. I want to make sure that my hands are underneath my shoulders, underneath my butt. I'm going to start out right here. And I have my knees bent because when I know I'm right, my head is going to be in between my hands. In a push-up, I'm like this, and I bring my chest in it. I don't want my chest, I want my shoulders. So I'm going to come back and lift, and now my head is in between my hands, and here we go. Right here. Don't worry about a number. I don't care about a number. I want to feel it in my shoulders. I want quality. I don't want quantity. I'm not going to get done and say, look how many I did. And that's the elevated pike push-up.
So the lower you go, the easier it is?
Right.
Okay.
So, if that's too hard, you come down. You people who want to start, I'm going to take the weight off. Damn. How'd I do that? And this becomes a little bit easier. Right? For people who've gone roller skating before, after you get done taking roller skating, you take your roller skates off, you put your shoes back on, and now you're walking like this. You're walking all fast. So before you start that out, you can start with the push-up. You know, it's too hard to bring your feet. Don't raise them. Come back and just go as high as you comfortably can. And when you start feeling a stretch in your back, that's far enough.
This is still called an elevated pike push-up?
No, it's just a pike push-up.
Oh, got it.
Right.
Oh, the elevated is that thing. Okay.
Right, as long as I can come right here and do the elevated.
Bobby, really?
And now I'm asking more of a resistance because that's more weight.
That is on top of your shoulders.
Right.
Got it.
So when I want to get to the point where I'm pushing with my chest, I can still push. It's a push day. I like to do it on days where I on a dip, I push. Push-ups, I push. The wall handstand, I'm pushing. That is, believe it or not, the elevated, weighted pike push-up is only in the middle. If that's too hard, instead of an elevated pike push-up, you can make it try it in reverse to where I'm just doing this, and I'm still gonna put, instead of doing this with my chest like a push-up, stick your head in there, stick your butt out, stick your head in there, and I want to touch the top of my head right here. It's going to remove my pectoral muscles from working.
So this is the easier version for
Right.
those of y'all. If y'all are just getting on, you can watch this video on replay. He starts off with the harder version.
So that'll be easier for people who maybe you got a shoulder problem or tendonitis like I had from playing a lot of handball, from smashing a lot of fools in the handball court. I have the tendonitis, but there can always be an easier version. You can try something on a higher surface. If it's too hard, just get to a higher surface. And as long as you bend forward and stick your butt out, you're going to eliminate your chest. You're going to eliminate the pectorals from pushing. And now your triceps are pushing and your shoulders to lift on the elevated. For everybody who thinks, well, that's easy, because I know guys are going to watch this too and say, hey, that dude don't got nothing. Put all of your weight on you. And if that's not enough, throw weight on top of you. Like that. We got an easy version. And you can get hard. You can, believe it or not, you can lose weight, get toned up, or you can get strong, you can get big, you can build mass with your own body weight. Throw all of your weight and something on top of it. You can make it harder or you can make it easier depending on what level you're at.
What's the beginner version of what you just did? What would a beginner do?
The pike push-up.
Okay.
Not elevated, not weighted, no weight. The pike push-up. In yoga, it is the beginning of...
Downward dog.
The downward dog is also the beginning, but the pike push-up is the beginning of something that's called commandos, or they'll call them rolls. And it's like the number one thing for your shoulders, but you can try it. And this is half of it for the shoulders again. But this will also include your chest. And I'm not trying to work the chest out because I'm going to get to my chest. I don't want my pectorals to be tired before I get there. So the beginning is the pike push-up. And you could go into the downward facing dog and hold it as a static movement. Any movement that you hold is called static, as long as you hold that. But if you want, go halfway in the downward facing dog and hold that position. And then come back up. For those of you that are not quite there yet or quite here, you can get there. You start halfway in the downward facing dog. For the beginning of yoga, when you start out, the roll incorporates the chest movement. I haven't do that, but it is the beginning of this move right here. And you'll come up and the stretch.
That's hard for me. My shoulders won't let me do
That
that.
is challenging on the shoulders.
Yeah.
But you can do it in a roll and it's hard on the pectorals, but it is the beginning of this movement right here.
Oh, that's how you do that thing you do.
That's another video on another channel
Stupid.
that you're gonna get charged for.
Babe, really? Stop.
But that's a push. That's a push. Let me throw my weight back on and we'll go into another pushing. If there's a movement or a body part that you think you need a machine for, you need to go to a gym, you need Planet Fitness, you need Crunch.
Golds.
You don't need it. What you need to do is stay away from
Food.
the Zuzus and the Wham Whams, the tortillas, and I want extra cheese, double meat. Can I get a quadruple, triple? Everybody, you ask them, how do I work out? I don't know what to do. I don't know how many reps. I don't know how many sets. Now I say, can I take your order? Let me have a triple double with cheese and I want it cut in half and no onions. You got all that figured out real easy. That's the problem. That's the problem.
All right, what's next?
Now I'm going to throw in my pectorals.
Okay.
Right? For guys, you want to work out your chest. Like I said, you can build mass. My personal goal, I want strength, not size. I believe in my life for different situations, different purposes, for self-defense, for sports. The number one thing that has helped me is being strong and fast, not being big. So I'm gonna work on the pectoral, right? I start at my level. What I like to do is I like to have weight on top of me, and I'm gonna do an elevated push-up, right? I'm gonna do an elevated push-up. I'm just gonna do regular push-ups. But if you'll put your hand on your chest and bring your hand in front of you and do this, you'll notice that you won't feel your pectoral moving on the inside. If you'll bring your hand to the width of your shoulder and now push, you can feel your chest moving in another area. Then when you stick your hand out here and you push, that is the outside of your chest and your shoulders. So whatever movement you do, as long as you're moving your hands, you're working a different area of your pectorals. For guys, we like wide because we want a wide chest. It gives the illusion of the V taper, right? It makes us look like we're wide, but we want a small waist. And then we're going to do the diamonds because we want it to work on the tricep. We want our triceps to, we want that shoe horse, right?
Horseshoe.
Exactly, babe. That's what I said. I love you.
I love you
That's
too.
why you're holding the camera, baby. I didn't choose that other female. I chose you, Mike. But I want the diamond to work the inside of my pectorals. But right now I'm just going to do the regular elevated push-up. And the number one thing that you cheat yourself, you don't cheat others, you cheat yourself if you cheat yourself on the move. You're going to want to get tired. And when you get tired, you're going to want to sink down with your butt. Don't do that. You got to keep yourself up. And if you get tired, go ahead and take a little break. Get right back on it. Form. I don't care how many you do. Nobody cares how many you do. That's an ego thing that I can do 100 push-ups straight. Okay? But if I take this off and I show you I can do 100 push-ups straight, what good is that? I don't have strength behind it. My muscles just got used to doing the movement. And it's not challenging for me anymore. But we want to work out where it's always challenging. So elevated push-up.
Way to go, Prissy.
Elevated push-up, just regular. And now, in the pike push-up, it was my shoulders. Now it's my shoulders. Now I'm coming forward and my hands should be underneath my chest. Get comfortable. Open up your fingers wide. For balancing, open your fingers wide. Tell yourself you've got a necklace on, a short necklace, and when that necklace, the medallion on it, touches the floor, that's good enough.
Hi, Sheree. Hi, Cassandra. Hi, Yvette. Oh, that's how you do that move too.
So,
Got it.
and that's challenging because I've got weight on me. If you're not quite there, take the weight off. That weight's getting heavier.
Yeah.
Take the weight off. We're going to go right back to the same push-up.
Hi, Adrian.
Again, the higher you lift your feet, the harder it's going to get. It's degrees and angles, degrees and angles. I can go up and lift my feet anywhere. Now I'm asking myself to lift more of my own body weight. So that was a little bit more body weight. When you lift all of it like I did on the wall push-up, that's all of it but on my shoulders. So that's about as high as you get right there. If you're not at that level, if you bring your feet down, less angle, less weight. If I do a regular push-up, I'm not lifting all of my body weight. I'm lifting about maybe 65%, maybe, of my own body weight in a regular push-up. In a regular push-up. When you get tired, you're going to want to do this. And that's a good way to hurt your back. If you can no longer push right there, push until you've maxed out and you're fatigued, but don't lose form.
Don't compromise your form. Yeah.
Form is everything. Form is everything. I have my butt just a little bit raised. I'm not like this, holding a hard plank.
Prissy said, okay, now tell him I'm going to go feed my fat self only because I just got out from work and this fat girl's hangry. And then she says she's going to eat enough for me too.
Okay. Tell her to throw in something for me. If I feel like I don't got enough for the push-up, I know a guy, he's got good size, but he's had shoulder injuries. He's had several injuries. No offense, but I call these a woman's push-ups. But I eliminate some of my weight. Instead of going on a regular move, what I'm going to do is I'm going to eliminate some of the weight, and by taking half of my body out of the equation and just coming up off of my knees. So I'm going to come right here and I bend my knees. You can cross your ankles, it doesn't matter. But I'm asking less resistance, less body weight. So now that when I push,
those are the kind that I have to do because of my shoulders.
and now because it's less weight, you're going to feel less shoulder, more tricep.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell everybody, you got to work on your tricep. Even the bodybuilder, not getting away from push-ups. He can bench 350 pounds on there. You're not getting away from push-ups because that bar is stabilized. You don't do that. You don't do that standing up. A guy in the gym that lifts 250 pounds, the bench is supporting his back and he's laying down and lifting that weight. That's not pliable strength. Because for me, I don't even weigh 180 pounds. And he can bench 250 and we'll stand there, and because I have leverage and I put hand to hand with it and I lock my elbows out and hold it, he's having trouble pushing 170 pounds. And I only weigh like 160, but he can bench 250. It's the math, it's wrong, it's not pliable strength. But for the guy who says, I can do 100 push-ups, let's try these. Again, well, depending on what level you're on, whatever you feel comfortable, you gotta draw a fine line of uncomfort and pain. You gotta figure out the line. I don't want you to get injured, but you'll work your way into movements. For the guy who says that this push-up is easy, what I want you to do is take your hand placement without moving your feet, without moving your head position. I happen to have lines right here on the carpet. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring my hands back just a little bit. Now do a push-up. Now my hands aren't underneath my chest, they're behind my chest. And when those get easy, you're gonna bring, without moving your feet, without moving your head, you're gonna bring your hands back a little further. And now look where my hands are at when I go down. And when you can do sets like that, and you think you're tough, bring your hands back. Bring your hands back. And you can bring them back so far that you're going to have to turn it for your wrists, right? And I'm going to lift one foot off of the ground. So now I started out with my hands right here. I'm only lifting like 60, 65, maybe 70% of my body weight. As I go down, think of it like a pole, right? If I had a pole and I wanted to lift all the weight, would you grab it by one end and try to pick it up? But the closer you get to the center of it, then you can lift all of the weight. If the guy who says, I can do 100 push-ups straight, is he bouncing? Is he lifting all of his weight? No. Tell him to do 50 with his hands and pushing at the center of his weight. He's not going to be able to do it unless he's worked his way up to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hands lower. I'm asking more resistance of my body. I'm lifting more of my body weight. And I'm going to take a foot off of the ground to try to lift as much body weight as I can. I'm going to put my hands back right here. Go up in the push-up position. I got lean forward, and that's hard enough. So lean forward, lift one leg.
Oh my God.
And then eventually you'll work up to something that's called a planche push-up, to where you can get the balance and all of your body weight will come up off the ground. Nobody's doing 100 of those. But next thing, that's a push. So I pushed here from the whole workout, I pushed here. It's a push day. I pushed here. I pushed here. Here. The wall push-up. I pushed here. The pike push-up off of my shoulders. I'm just pushing because the rotator cuff in your shoulder, it's the most complicated joint in the body. You have to have strong shoulders for everything you do in life. I believe you need to have strong shoulders and a strong back and a strong core will enable you to do every exercise you ever want to do. I did not say you need a six-pack. You need a strong core. The six-pack physique, those are made in the
kitchen.
Yeah, those are cocina workouts. And that's the hardest workout to stick to.
Yeah.
The hardest workout is the cocina. So we got pushing, right? So I'm gonna try a pulling.
Okay.
Right? So we got pushing and pulling. I put these chairs together like this because not a lot of people can do pull-ups. And I know guys that will say, well, you're not really big, that's why you can do a lot of pull-ups. When I started doing pull-ups, I could only do 3, right? And now I'm gonna work out. My baby can tell you, she'll show you videos of me working out, and I'm gonna work out for an hour pulling. The first thing I do is 20 pull-ups straight. And if they're not pretty, they don't count. I want form and quality, not to be able to say I can do 10 pull-ups. That's not the gist of it. We want to work our muscles out, not say we reached a number.
Babe, real quick, Priscilla, Prissy, he was talking about the rotator cuff. Babe, real quick, can you show them, because of all the things that you've done, show them the Superman push-up and show them the side to side. That way they know that you worked your way up to that. I'm going to have him show you guys something real quick that's, I think, is really cool. It's hard to do. I don't know what he's doing now, but we'll see.
For my next magic trick, again, there are people who got ripped up, shredded abs. They did that from a caloric deficit and a diet. They actually deprived themselves of nutrition and fat. And ladies and gentlemen, we are supposed to have fat. I know 1 million people are going to come in and say, I thought fat was bad for us. I thought we want to stay away from it. No, we want to minimize it. But our bodies have survived with fat.
And the majority of the people...
Nutrients.
The majority of the people who have six packs are usually doing it for competition, and it's not something that they maintain all year long.
Right. I mean, if you're going to take pictures and you're trying to, okay, that's another video. We can do that too, and I can do it with you. We can do it together. I'm trying to show you how you can stay fit and you can stay mobile. You can stay healthy and strong. If God is willing and we are blessed, you will get old. But you do not have to get old and weak. You do not have to get old and fat. You don't have to get old and sick. And you don't need gyms. You don't need these combinations of, you buy on TV, they got 1 million different superfoods that you've never, from the mountains of Peru. And man, I'm from Lubbock, Texas, the mountains of Peru. I gotta order this stuff. But you can have a strong core, and it enables me to do everything. The strong core. Not the six-pack, but a core. The transverse muscles, it's like a belt that runs around from the lower back to the front. And we need to have that strong. And if you have it strong, there isn't anything that you can't do.
It stopped being fun for her. There's an element of fun that nice guys miss out. It's the element of uncertainty, not knowing the outcome. It's the real reason we get bored.
Is that the beginner of what you did on the floor?
There is no beginner to it. Now you work that out. You think you can't do it. That's a challenge if you guys want to try that. Watch my fingers. You can do it on your hands. You can start right here. If you want, you can try to go up in a push-up, but it's not the push-up that gets me up off of the ground. Let me repeat that. I am not pushing to get up off of the ground. Can you zoom in on my fingers, babe?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try it like this.
Okay.
If I was pushing like a push-up with my pectorals, with my shoulders, like I do in a push-up, I'm going to take all that out by doing this.
So we're just showing you guys this. This is all the exercises he's done so far. That's what's helped him get to this level. And that's something that you eventually can work on doing by strengthening those areas. Baby, do the side to side one. Here I go saying, oh, do this and do this. And
Like, sure, babe. But you want 50 of them? I got you, my love. I think I can do a lot of push-ups because I think the secret to any movement, to getting stronger at it, is asking one of my limbs to do a little bit more than the other. So the push-up, both hands are pushing me. The squat, both legs are lifting me. But if you'll ask one arm to do a little bit more than the other, well, if you can lift both all your weight with one leg, with both legs, imagine how much stronger it is when you ask more resistance. You're doubling the resistance on each
one
leg.
side. Mm-hmm.
On each leg. So you'll do that. What my baby wants to see, they're called archer push-ups. So I'm asking my arms to do the pushing, but one arm at a time. I would say this is like a intermediate level push. So I'm just going to make sure that I'm wide. I'm going to have to turn my wrists and come down and lock and not talk for a video at the same time because it's kind of hard.
but you make that look easy.
I wish I could make it feel like it was easy. And just doing a push-up like this. If you want to start training to do that, come to the push-up. Push-up position. You're going to come down just a little bit more on one side and push. Now on the other side, you're just going to just a little bit more on one side and push. But eventually you'll get to where you can open up your hands a little bit wider, right? And then when you get to where you can do, I'm going to say like, if you can give me 15, you're ready for the next level. So I'll open my hands a little bit wider. And when I can do 15 there, I'm going to open my hands a little bit wider. You're going to have to gauge your own progress. And when you can get it nice and wide,
the cool thing is if you go down to the base of operation into the basement, there's actually a wall that will display all of the hunter masks that you have acquired. So let's go to East Mall. I'm going to show you the
Yeah, you made that
whenever
look
you can
easy.
get all that without farting, you're getting to the beast mode.
We're at the very top of the East Mall.
But
And what we need
I'll have push days. I'll have push days and I'll have pull days. Because I pushed, I pushed, I pushed, I pushed, I put my hands on the, and pushed. All those, the rotator cuff, it's the most advanced joint ligament in the body, the rotator cuff, right? I like to tell people, did you know that the fastest recorded pitch for you guys that are watching, did you know that the fastest recorded pitch is actually an underhanded pitch? And the reason for that is because this is a natural rotation of your shoulder. Well, baseball pitchers do this. Back, turn, twist, lock, release. That is wear and tear on the shoulders and that hurts. But you got to do pulls. The rowing machine, the pulling, the pull-up. A lot of people aren't ready to do pull-ups. So check this out. I'm gonna come with something light right here.
Oh my gosh. Is that sturdy?
Something light. You're not repetition. What I want you to do, look, my feet, the closer my feet are to me, I have my weight balled up, okay? The further I move my feet away, I'm extending the length of my own body weight and it becomes harder.
Got it.
So I'm going to start right here we're not gonna go for sets. We're not gonna go for repetitions. I'm gonna go for a static hold, where I'm gonna come up, anything you got in the house that is mobile or stationary, you're gonna come up and hold. Hold that position. And the hardest thing for me to do is I am flexing my abs, and look, I'm already trembling. I'm just gonna hold this position for a count. Hold that. You're gonna rest till you've got your breath back. Don't take no 2 minutes. Don't go and look at your likes and your how many people,
Notifications.
all that social media stuff that's killing everybody's work. We'll get to that later. Right now we're getting paid, so let's get paid. For another one, gonna hold up a static position. I'm gonna bring my feet out a little bit further. And when the further I bring my feet out, and now I come up again, I don't want my back rounded off. It's still straight. And I'm gonna come up and hold. Count to yourself. You can hold it for 3, you can hold it for 5. If you can hold that for a minute, you're ready. Bring my feet out all the way. Now that I have all my weight extended, I get my weight extended, I'm asking more of my body weight. I'm gonna hold this for a position. I want my back straight, my whole body is a straight line, and I'm rigid. And hold. I think that if you can do your full body weight in a hold for 10 seconds like that, you've got more in you. You just don't know how to do it.
How to
And I
use
think a
them.
lot of moves in the gym that I do, people always tell me for, what do you call that? I call it a Chinese push-up. You call it a Superman push-up.
Yeah.
I can do a muscle up. Go find out. I don't have a bar here to show you, but go find out what a muscle up is. And my baby's got videos of it. I can do a muscle up. Everybody says for that move, for this move, for that move, and man, I wish I could do that. You have the strength to do it. What you don't know is the technique on how to do it.
Yeah.
The Superman push-up, I am not pushing. It shouldn't even be called a Superman push-up. But that's a challenge. You guys let me know if you can do it. Or you
I
can't
will
do it.
post, when we're done with this video, I'll post in the comments some of the videos that he does on the bars, and that way you guys can see what he's worked up to.
So I'm doing the same thing as I did over there. I'm gonna ask myself to lift my own body weight because this is a little bit higher. Just like the push-up, the degrees and angles, the higher it gets, the more challenging it gets. So I want 2 chairs that won't fall over on me. I'm gonna get up inside here,
Wait, so the higher that you're reaching up here, it's harder?
right? Because now I'm not doing this. I'm bringing myself out
Oh, got it. Okay.
further out. So I'm gonna have my feet close to me.
Okay.
The closer my feet are,
Let me come to that side. Okay, Papi.
the closer my feet are to me, I have my weight all balled up in one spot, right? So it becomes easier. Again, I'm just gonna come up, and I'm gonna come up right here and just hold myself for a count. If you think you're ready, then you can start doing repetitions on here. But you are pulling with the exact same muscles as the person who hangs from the bar, full body weight. The only difference between you and me, when I'm doing pull-ups and you're doing them here, I'm only lifting more of my own body weight, but you are working the same muscles. You can get strong enough. You can do this. I didn't think that I was ever going to be able to do a muscle up. I said, that's something you see on them Like a Boss videos on YouTube. No, you're the boss. Those dudes that are the bosses on the video, one day they weren't the boss.
Right.
They became the boss.
They started somewhere.
So now I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to stick my feet out. Believe it or not, but this movement right here, taking one foot right here and right here, now I'm stretching the weight out, and I'm asking myself to lift more of my own body weight, and I'm going to come up again. Now it got a little bit harder, a little more challenging. And if you want to come up and hold for a amount of seconds, and come back. Now, to make it even more challenging, I've got my feet all the way out. And now I'm going to come up right here. And my body is rigid. And I am doing the same workout. I'm using the same muscles as I did if I was hanging off of a bar. And it becomes hard, come up here and hold and count. And your back is going to give out and you're going to get tired. Call those reps, call those repetitions, but just hold. If you can't do repetitions, go into a static move, go into yourself and hold it. So that's the same for the dude that's, you say, well, I can't do pull-ups. Go to your door. There's I say everybody has the strength to do these things, but like guys, for guys, we want big arms, big chest because we're guys and the girls like it and everything. Everybody, including women, you have weak points in your body. These weak points are, it's like a team. The team is only as strong as the weakest link. I ask everybody and see if you'll comment on me. Tell me, what exercise do you do to strengthen your elbows?
Okay, it's on.
So the body has weak points. I want to ask everybody, because they think I can do 1,000,000 pull-ups. Guess what's holding me? And you're thinking my back, my triceps, my chest, my shoulders. I'm going to ask everybody out there in quarantine land, what exercise do you do that strengthens your elbow? And for guys, no, I'm not asking about this exercise, but what exercise do you do that strengthens your wrist?
You're stupid.
What exercise do you do that strengthens the ankles? You have ligaments and joints. You've got to work these out. I am only as strong, I can only do as many pull-ups as my wrist and my grip will allow on my push-ups. My chest, it'll get me up. My triceps are asking more. You went from a static hold right here. For those who didn't think that you could do a pull-up, get the static hold, then get repetitions. When you can get repetitions 10 on those and hold static moves, you're ready to up it a notch. You don't need Planet Fitness. We come over here to some chairs. We're getting repetitions and we're getting a static hold and we're holding it. We're holding it. You can hold that for 20 seconds. Who needs crunch? We got our own crunch. The local gym is, watch me get to the local gym. And we're there. Here's the local gym. That's, you see my warm up? That's my warm up right there.
Stupid.
Now, for the pull up, what I want you to work, I'm not asking you to lift yourself with your arms. Please, I should have said this a little sooner, but for this pull and the static movement, for this pull with the chairs and the static movement, you have your shoulder blades that turn on the inside, right? They're your scapula that move in and out. If I were to put a pencil or a marker on your spine and I tell you I want you to squeeze that and I'm going to let it go and I want you to hold that marker, I want you to hold that pen right there. That movement of squeezing your scapula, that movement of squeezing the scapula, whenever you do that, that's what I want you to keep in your mind when you hold this static movement and you're holding it. I'm not telling you pull with your arms and see how far you can pull, because I can do this and then watch. I'm still squeezing and my arms are all the way back. Squeeze with the scapula. When you come over here, you build yourself up and you get stronger, more resistance. Repetitions, squeeze with the scapula.
I'm going. There it goes. We're in.
So for everything, we're squeezing with our scapula. Like I said, what exercise? Comment and please let me know, what exercise do you do to strengthen the elbow? What exercise do you do that strengthens your wrist or your ankles? You might stretch them. Do they become stronger? Everybody is like a door. This door can be made of solid wood. Solid. Look strong. But do you have real strength? Ask me how old I am. And then I'll show you what I can do that guys half my age can't do. Why? When they're big and solid and they got a lot of mass on them. Strength and power, two different things. This door may be solid oak, but it is only as strong as the hinges that are holding it. Squeeze the scapula. For those of you swinging on a bar, your core gets tight and you're swinging to stabilize you. But It's like a cheat move until you can get to the pull-up. As long as you got
Okay, we're in.
squeeze with the scapula. You don't have a bar. As long as you got a solid door, you got hinges, you can come up, bring your chin. The cheating part of it, but it's not cheating. This is gonna stabilize you. Slide up and down. Now you're eliminating the swing, and that's the hard part. But when you can get 10 of these, you got 5 good pull-ups in you. Right? So if you'll squeeze the scapula, people have these at the gym, they're ropes and they pull like this. I'm not asking my arms
The
to pull.
TRX.
Huh?
The TRX ropes.
Right. So I'm not asking my arms to pull me. Again, squeeze with the scapula. Everybody's trying to get their chin past the bar. But if you can, like I said, the Superman push-up, the muscle up, you have the strength to do these things, you just don't know how to do them. It's technique. Don't ever believe that because I'm doing something that's considered an elite move, that you can't do it. You've got the strength to do it, you just don't know how. And if you follow me, ask questions, I'll do my best to answer. We can do them. We can do them. If you squeeze your scapula, instead of worried about bringing your chin past the bar, if you use technique, forget about the number, forget about how many you're doing, just do something. Stay consistent. I don't care if you do three of each, but if you did it every day, you're gonna look a lot better than me. You're gonna look a lot better like this. Consistency. Don't go to the gym and bang out an hour or 2 hours of working out and then you don't go back for another 2 weeks, right? It's like this. There's a rock. If you take a bucket of water and splash it on a rock, nothing's gonna happen. But if you take a rock and drop water on it continuously, just a little bit, it's going to eventually dig a hole in there. And our bodies are gonna look like we've been dropping water, right? If you'll squeeze your scapula instead of pulling with your arms, if you'll use technique, right? Instead of worried about a number, instead of getting your chin past the bar, if you'll use and squeeze your scapula, watch what happens. Watch the difference.
Whoa.
And that isn't my arms pulling, it's my scapula.
Squeezing.
That's a whole bunch, yeah. Let me get, watch, I got something for that.
Oh, my chancla?
Yeah,
That's what you're gonna use?
it's good for
Something.
redirection, disciplina. It's good for everything. Good for the workout. Good for everything. It's like the mom and grandma, the abuelitas, they knew this a
They
long
knew
time
what they
ago.
were talking about.
Yeah, the mom and the grandma, they knew it was good for everything. Boomerang, pa que aprenden, it's good for everything. But for the muscle up, you see guys, go and look on YouTube, just type up muscle up, and I can do that, but I need a bar. And not only can I do it, man, you can do it too. The first person I ever saw do it was a girl. It was a female, and she's about this small. And she doesn't have big arms. She's not ripped or nothing. It's technique. When you squeeze with your scapula. My arms aren't big arms, but they're strong. I'm not asking my arms. I'm not asking you for your arms to pick you up. But look, my arms may not have the strength. Your arms may not have the strength to lift you up. But I believe that your back is strong enough to lift all of you. That's why we do seated rows. We have push days. We have pull days. Again, if you'll squeeze with your scapula when you pull, use that motion. You don't even have to worry about your chin coming past the bar. Watch what happens. Come on, Jangla. And if we didn't have a place like a bar to move, I can show you that I can do it to where I can bring the bar to my belly button and pulling. Somewhere in there, my arms got lost. It's my back that's pulling. Again, you can do these movements. It's not about being strong enough. Look, it goes right back to its owner. The person who throws it at me all the time, it goes right back to its owner. It's not about being just ripped and swole. You can have the strength and you can have technique. And if you have that, it's like the greatest athlete in the world said, if a man can run, he can do anything. Consistency. If you just do a little bit, if you just hold static moves, go into the push-up halfway, hold. Go into the pull-up, hold. Go into the higher one, hold. Go into this one and hold. If you can only lift yourself once or twice, that is awesome. That is strength. Understand that if you could only do 2 today and next week you do 4, someone else might look down on you and say, oh, you only did 4. No, you just doubled your strength. You could only do 2 and now you can do 4 of your whole body weight. If all you can do is 2, if all you can do is 2 push-ups, if all you can do is 2 dips, and here's your dip. All my body weight. If all you could do was 2, do everything in the negative. The push-up, come down. If I can only do 2 or 3 push-ups, this is what's going to build me to be able to do more push-ups. And stop. Come back up, cheat to get in it.
So basically just counting it out real slow going down.
Yeah. If you watch these other YouTube videos, these guys call it time under tension. For somebody says, can you do 100 push-ups straight? And I'm, okay, now I tell them, I just want you to do 2 of these push-ups and they can't do it. It's strength versus endurance. You don't want endurance unless you're going into a push-up challenge for competition for money, then we can work on that. But you want strength. You want mobility. You want to be able to play with your kids without feeling tired and fatigued. Those are mobile. You can get into your 50s, 60s, and 70s. Why do you think our grandparents that kept mowing the lawn and getting up under the bed and cleaning the closet, why'd they stay strong? This mobility keeps us mobile. When you get injured and you go see the doctor, they tell you you have to get physical rehabilitation. Why? Because you won't rehabilitate yourself and you won't get physical. If you'll give yourself physical rehabilitation, you will never need physical rehabilitation. Unless, of course, you get a serious injury, get into a car accident, something like that. But we pray that that doesn't happen. But it's the world we live in. If you cannot do but 3 dips in all your weight, you're going to do the negative. Right there, I did slow negatives. Here is my slow negative. Go ahead, cheat. Bring yourself back up. The slow negative. Cheat. Come back up. The slow negative. You will build strength. Forget a number. Who cares if you can do 100 of something? For those of you that speak Spanish, for the guy who can do 100 push-ups, esa es maña. He's already been doing that a million times, of course. Here is, if I can't do all of them, here is my slow negative. That's my slow negative. My slow negative, if I can only do 2 pull-ups, you will double your strength fast. Sorry, baby, I love you.
I was giving you the chancla so the door won't move.
I know, but
You got scared?
you got me traumatized with the chancla. All I know is when the chancla comes. If you can only do 2 pull-ups, I promise you, I give you my word, you won't get big, you will get strong on the pull-ups. You will get strong. If you can only do pull-ups, do the slow negative. If you have to step on something, jump, cheat to get up there. The slow negative. If you have to jump, Go ahead. If you got to step on something, bring this over. Step on something. But come down as slow and controlled as you can do it. We're doing slow negatives. If there's any move you can't do it. Do one slow negative. Chris Heria, Jeff Cavalier, all these dudes, they're experts. They're personal trainers. They'll all tell you, and they call it time under tension. It's not about, there's a point at the top. There's a point in every exercise that the resistance is gone and you go back into the resistance. So if you go slowly in the movement, you spend more time breaking down muscle fibers. Resistance, and it's challenging, is more time. If you want to do a wall push-up and you say, man, all I can do is do one. Well, the way to get to one, to make two, to make four, to make six, the slow negative. Or not. If you can't do 10 of them, do one slow. And then you can come down. You can shake that off.
So the slow part that you're working on, that is it when you are pressing up to go back up, or when you're coming down?
No, that's a eccentric.
Okay.
It's like on the bicep. The eccentric is the curl. But where people don't get it is like, because the gravity, you just let the weight fall, and the eccentric, right? What you're wanting is the negative. Control
The
that.
release.
Nice and slow, the down. The push-up, the eccentric is the push, and the strength builds because you're just pushing. But on the push-up, people are pushing and dropping.
Oh, okay.
Pushing and dropping. On that, you're pulling and dropping. On the pull-up, you're pulling and dropping.
Okay.
So you're pulling and not pushing, or you're pushing and not pulling.
Got it.
So you want to work both sides. That's why I say if you want to get stronger at any exercise,
Do the negative.
The negative portion. Go up on the pull-up. The pull-up is fine. It's not.
It's the release.
Where do people quit? No one says, I can't go down anymore.
Right.
They say, I can't get up anymore. You got to get up. Go down slow. You're already strengthening the pull and the pull. But if you go down slow, it's the negative, the eccentric movement of it, time under tension. That's where you want it, because everybody on the push-up, they push up and fall. Push up and fall. Right? So you're going to do the slow negative. When you want to get to the point, you say, man, I want to be able to do it like this. But I can't do 3. I can only do 1. If you can only do 1, then do 1 like this.
Slow.
And then step off. I don't recommend trying to pop up and then try to do a negative, because that's all your body weight. It's hard, and you're going to break dance first. You're going to spin on your head and then go down, and you're going to come up. And I meant to do that. I like having the crick in my neck. What you looking at, fool? No, but if there's any muscle that, any exercise, that you feel that you can't do the negative of it. So we're going to throw some weight on ourselves, because it's just no fun without extra weight.
Why don't you let me hang on the back of you?
You want my first video to be my last? So, just like the archer push-up, I was asking my weight I can push, but if I ask one arm to lift a little bit more, I'm asking one limb to do what 2 limbs are used to doing, you will double your strength. How many exercise videos and stuff that you see people that they're squatting? Okay, that's cool. The squat is great. Nothing wrong with the squat. Now I've got it with some added resistance. I got a weight vest on, and I'm going to keep my form and hold it. I like to do this. Like, let's say I've got a small ball a bigger ball, a medium ball, and a heavy ball. In my mind, I hold the small ball, the small sphere. I'm gonna come down with it, and because it's not very heavy, I can pop up on it. I'm gonna grab the bigger ball, a little bit bigger, and because it's a little bit bigger, come up a little slower. Then I grab the medium ball. I've got to hold it like this because it's a pretty good sized ball, and I also have to open up my feet for it and hold. And I grab that big ball in my head. I have to open up my arms. I have to open up my legs for the big ball. And because it's bigger, I can't get up as fast. So I'm stuck in this position. Make sure to stick my butt out because that's what's stabilizing me for my spine not to be bent. And come up with that big ball. Drop that big ass ball. But just like the archer push-up, I was asking one arm to do a little bit more than the other. Well, if I can lift my body weight with both legs, okay, my legs are gonna eventually, I don't wanna have to do 300 squats for my legs to be strong, right? The pistol squat is basically squatting, and instead of putting all my weight on both, I'm going to come out, stick one leg out, and come down and squat on one leg. Okay? I'm asking my body weight to be pushed with one leg instead of both. Okay? Because I'm doing it weighted, it's harder. You want it easier? Take the weight off. Yeah. I'm gonna take the weight off.
What about for those who aren't starting with weight and they want easier than that?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
So I'll take the weight off, and then again, the pistol squat, that's hard enough. If you cannot do it, you can have assisted pistol squat. I'm gonna put my hand on something. Anything. When you get up out of bed, you can do it. The pistol squat, my hand is right here. Huh? When you want to build from here and go harder, watch. On the first one, I'm gonna put my hand, look at my hand. On the first one, when I do an assisted pistol squat, I've got my whole hand there. When I get stronger, you're going to lift up. Now I'm on my fingers, right? Mm-hmm. Now my fingers are holding me. When I want that easier, I'm actually gonna lift off, and now I've just got a couple fingers. Little by little, I'm letting go of it. This is assisting me. Eventually, instead of something helping me to push, you can do the pistol squat with a hand high up to where you're just using it for balance, but I'm still trying to lift all of that. You want to get to the point where you got to find where you're comfortable at. But as long as you have your hand on something, it's an assisted pistol squat, right? And if you feel like you can't go down deep enough, because the lower you get, the harder it becomes, grab a chair at home. We'll do a pistol squat sitting up. I'm going to put one leg in front of the other and drop it in front of me. I'm asking, this is easy. This is half a squat. This is half a squat. Baby, you're so fucking fine.
Stop.
This is only half a squat. The squat is for me to sit down on my ankles.
Ass to grass.
Ass to grass, that's it. Why do you think Asian people don't have problems with their knees and their hips? And they sit eating dinner as a family on their haunches. Mm-hmm. And they eat like this in Asia. They don't have no hips, knees, joint problems like the Americans do. So I'm not going to get up like this off the chair. I'm going to put one foot in front of the other. This is an assisted pistol squat. For your balance, you're going to find it and come up. Sit down and come up. That is the lower version of the pistol squat. That's hard. And then I wanted to do it with weight on top of me. And then I want to do it with my baby on me. That's another video. Y'all don't want to see that one, girl. I got something for you, mama. I love you. You switch legs. Again, this is the pistol squat for those of you that can't reach deep down enough to work your hamstring. One leg relaxed in front of the other. And you're just going to stand up, hands on this, put your hands where you can find balance. If you have to lean a little to the right, you're going to have to do that in order to place your weight on this leg. So you're going to come up That's for the hamstring. That is an assisted pistol squat. Right there. The
Hamstring or quads?
on the top.
This one? That's quads.
On the top. So I'm going to the ham. So what I'm going to do is, you can do it on the floor. I'm going to put my feet right here. Now, same thing, I got my knees bent. I'm going to have one leg out. Now,
Yeah.
so I'm pulling it as
That's
long as I
hamstring.
can have that. Put your arms beside you for balance because you're going to want to turn and twist. You don't want to do that. You want to stay stationary. So I'm going to come up one leg out. If you want to, you can do it on the ground and break your furniture. If you want to, the furniture store's not open right now, but you can go online. If you want to, hold a leg out, and what you're going to do is you're going to hop, push yourself off the ground. As long as you don't let your butt touch the ground, trust me, you're going to get tired on those real quick. Switch legs and you're hopping.
So that is like the beginner version?
Right, that's the beginning. Or if that becomes too challenging, you can go down and just come up and push. I'm doing explosive because I'm trying to come up off the ground.
Yeah.
But if you'll push, I can feel my ass cheek getting about a quarter of one of my baby's cheeks, but it's still effective. And again, if that becomes too challenging, you go from movement to movement to movement. If it's too challenging, we hold the static move, we hold it, and we do the negative. Static move, and the negative. Let yourself down nice and slow. Static move, hold, and tell yourself it should take you about 5 seconds to come down. Static move, hold, and it should take you about 5 seconds to come down. Planet what? Living in my own planet. I don't need Planet Fitness. I got my own gym. How do I get up? How do I get to my local gym, babe? Come up out of bed, the stretch, and we're ready to go to the gym. We're there, baby. We're there. I get that. And you throw your weighted vest on you. Anything. I got a backpack right here. I got clothes and stuff in my backpack is heavy. But since I already have a weighted vest, I like to throw the weighted vest on here.
But some of you guys, whoever, if you don't have a weighted vest, you could use a backpack or something just to add extra resistance.
I'm going to come up again because I was working on the legs. After the pistol squat, I recommend it. And at the same time, I don't recommend it because it's killer. After you do pistol squats and then you want to come up on something and you're going to come up, stand up straight, nice and slow. I'm going to come up for repetitions. Whenever you feel the burn, you're not done. Whenever you feel the burn, you're not done. You're only getting started. You're only getting started. So you're going to full with the other one. Same amount. Same amount. But again, the weighted, you're going to go to calf raises. And because your calves are so strong, your calves and your legs, they're already exercising all the time. They carry your big old lazy self around everywhere. Mm-hmm. Your legs got no choice. Your legs are strong. So I recommend doing one limb again. If you have to, assisted, get to the point where you're getting balanced, where you don't need the assistant weight on top of you. One-legged. Or I'll grab weight and you could do a farmer's walk. And you can do it like you got high heels on. You wait and walk and tiptoeing like you got high heels on. And if I tell you y'all going to Lucky's on Saturday night, all of a sudden, oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I got you. I know what you mean. And you're walking around like that. NBA players, in order to increase their jump, they got the shoe that has this big old platform on the front of it and it has no heel. And you will fall backwards. So what that shoe does is it actually forces them to stay like this, and it forces them to work on their calves. So I'm going to walk and raise, walk and raise. And if you can do it with weight, with a farmer's walk, weight with high heels, That's awesome on the legs. That's awesome on the legs. There's too many for the abs, baby.
There's what?
There's too many on the abs. You want to go into that?
Just do like 1 or 2, something simple.
Okay. My thing for the abs, I think it's called like a sideways skier. It really works the abs. You can see my abs and everything, but I want to tell people, stop doing crunches. Stop doing sit-ups. I'll get more of a soreness and a better workout from doing pull-ups, because as soon as you go up in the air, everything tightens and stabilizes you. You guys, for the sit-up, when I put my feet somewhere and it's locked up under now, or if you don't have your feet locked, your abs kick in and you work from here to right about there, and that's it. From here to here, your abs are tight, but they're only stabilizing you. The number one thing that rocks you back and forth are your hip flexors. You guys get tired from, you could do a whole bunch of sit-ups and crunches. Why are your hip flexors more sore than your abs? It's because that's what you're working out. If you want to work out your hip flexors, there's a better exercise to do that. Try this. You're going to lean up against the wall, but not all the way. This will be a little challenge for everybody who thinks they can do 1,000 crunches and their core is still not strong. So I've got my back up against here. Just right there. Put your hands to the side, feet straight. Now what I want you to do, leg raises. Leg raises. Easy enough. Hip flexors are kicking in. Abs, they're only tight because they're stabilizing you. You're not using, you're not flexing, it's not an eccentric move. They're just stabilizing you. If I were to push you from the side and you stop yourself from falling, your abs tightened. They stabilized you. They stopped you from falling. Scoot up closer to the wall again. A little bit more. Hands to the side for balance. Feet straight. Leg raises. Good challenge. Still think you got 200 crunches in you? Put your butt all the way to the wall. So now I'm all the way to the wall. I can't lean back because the leaning back stabilizes me, like the leaning in the crunch or in the sit-ups. You can do sit-ups if you want to. I promise you, in order to get what you want out of the sit-up, you're going to do 1,000,000 sit-ups. Why? I don't do sit-ups. I don't do crunches. I don't do that. Put your hands up against the wall. Put your lower back all the way against the wall. Hands for stabilization. Now what you're going to do is the same thing, but without rocking back. You're going to do leg raises, and you're not even going to be able to go that high anymore.
That is so hard, guys. Take my word for it.
The hip flexors. I'm going to say what are called in and outs, or the best thing for me.
For abs?
For what I do while I'm in the middle of my pull-ups, instead of walking around and trying to get my breath, I'll do in and outs where I'll come up and hold. Nothing's holding, and I'm going to, what they're called a crucifix. And I'm going to come up and open up and come back. And just lay there. Notice I'm not coming up and doing this. I'm not coming to the resting point. It actually takes me, my abs are tight right now, in order to stabilize me from not doing this. I have to hold tight right here. So there's not a point of rest. There's not a point of rest. There's a point of rest if I come like this and sit on my butt and my feet. There's a point of rest. But like this, there isn't. So I'm doing an easy version of what's called a boat hold. And the Olympics, the females in the Olympics, they'll rock in a boat hold. This is a boat hold. And they'll do this. And they're just rocking. And if you want to rock, that's cool too. I come up and a crucifix. You can have what's called a star crunch. It's only going to work your adverse, your transverse muscles, the muscles that help you to twist, right? But I'm going to get my obliques in there by doing what's called a star crunch. That's the easy version of it. If you want it harder, what you're going to do is all 4 limbs are going to come up and your head, and they don't touch the ground. Trust me, you don't have to do a lot of those. But if you go from one to the other, to the other, to the other, that is great. The V up is you're going to come up with a crunch. But I'll do a side V up. Hold that. A static hold. You'll do a side plank. If you can just hold this position, if you push like that, you'll feel that your side's soft. And then go like this. Your body, your spine has no choice but to hold this tight. You're not flexing, but it's doing it by yourself. So if you'll just dip for about 30 seconds, dip. You're just focusing on the movement, but your abs are stabilizing, your core is tight without you even trying. And of course, you're gonna do it to the other side. This right here, again, push, and it's nice and soft. You don't even have to flex because you don't have a choice. Anything that forces your spine to hold in a straight line is going to stabilize and get hard somewhere. So on this side, now it's all hard and tight without you even choosing. So you can do that. Work for your obliques. I recommend more exercises that are more twisty. When I'm holding on a bar, this isn't really going to work, but if you're holding on a bar, you could hold it. You want to do this, and you're not necessarily wanting to bring your knees up, but you don't want the door to close on your fingers.
But
I'm gonna throw your chocolate.
I don't know.
Yeah, right here.
Hi,
It
Faith.
wants to come back to its owner.
Stop. Hi, Faith. Hi, Weddle. Hi, Nancy.
We're not trying to raise our legs. I don't know if I can say this on Facebook land. It's like when you're having sex.
Stop.
You're not folding, right? I'm not folding. I'm doing a pelvic thrust. It's the pelvic thrust. And yes, babe, that's how I do it. Don't laugh. I'm wanting to pelvic thrust my knees and come up and crunch. I'm not doing this for my hip flexors. I'm holding here. I'm wanting a pelvic thrust. I think the best ones are hanging. If you don't have the strength to hold, go to the dip. Go to your chairs. If you don't hold that, I'm not swinging my legs up. Don't swing. As long as you're swinging your legs up, you're working your hip flexors. Stop working your hip flexors. You want the pelvic thrust. The pelvic thrust.
Well, you don't want to say stop working. He showed you an exercise earlier to work on hip
I
flexors.
guess you can't stop because your hip flexors are automatically going to work into
Yeah.
it. But there's so many exercises that, like,
Hi, Dolly. Dolly says she's going to try this.
especially like the crunch or the sit-up. I've said, I can show you right now, I can do 300 consecutive sit-ups. That means in a row. You should not have to do that many. Guys, I'm going to tell you like this. I'm going to show you my abs, or I'm going to show you the things that I can do. I don't want to work out for more than an hour. I go into a gym or I go at home. Now everybody's got the quarantine, planet quarantine instead of Planet Fitness. I'm gonna work out for 40 minutes. If you do it in the morning, take a shower, you are done. If you go from one movement to the other, people will refer to it as high intensity. I'm not trying to take a break. I'm taking a break because I'm talking to you. But if you go from one movement to the next movement to the next movement, your body, your metabolism, you're waking it up. You're waking up your metabolism in the shower. When I'm done and I'm already, I still feel that burn. I still get it going. And you can ask my baby. We go out to eat and she gets mad because we go out to eat and I'm losing weight.
He's losing weight and I'm gaining it. Dolly said he's cute.
And
I know, right? I know, huh?
That's got nothing to do with the video. Thank you, thank you, Miss Dolly, for being nice to your friend. Tell
No,
her she has
she's-
bad taste in men.
Stop.
But I don't want the hip raise. I'm not trying to raise my legs. I want the pelvic thrust. The pelvic thrust.
She said for me to do it. No.
Eh,
I'm still in my pajamas.
If you want, when you get a little more advanced, you can come up and do the leg raises.
Faith, congratulations on the ping pong match. This video is going to be up, so you can always do this video with Eddie another time.
If you want to get to the leg raises, you're not strong enough, your hip flexors won't let you do it. The exercise I gave you for the hip flexors will strengthen your hip flexors. You'll go from only be able to do like this. It's not an L sit, that was more like a J sit. If you want to do the L sit or higher, go to the hip flexor exercise right there. It won't double it, it'll triple your leg strength. And if you want to build up to the L sit, you don't have the capacity to do it yet, try only holding half of the weight of your legs out there. And by half of the weight, you're gonna do this and hold, switch, hold, switch, hold. Because like this, you got no choice but to hold the weight of both of your legs, and that's hard on the lower abs. I recommend you always working out only your lower abs and only the transverse muscles. Grab your broom, grab your escoba, take the handle off, throw it around on you, and just twist. Put some music on. Songs today, they're not like back in the day when they made real good music. Today it's just to sell and make $1 and make a beat. So the songs today are about 2 to 3 minutes long. Put a jam on, throw your bar on, your escoba, and twist to your 2 to 3 minute song playlist. Take a break. Next song comes on. After the second song, that's about a 2-minute rest. Put the next song on, 2.5, 3 minute song, and twist with your broom. You actually got the weight of your arms twisting, and your transverse muscles are.
Try to finish it off right here.
I'm gonna finish it right now.
Okay, we're on.
Yeah, I try to.
Dolly, he's real, he tries to be humble. That's what it is. But he is trying to stay focused.
I love you, baby.
I love you too.
But you throw your broom on, throw your scoba, throw your Aggie, some of y'all, whatever you got in the house, anything, throw it around there. You will have the weight of your arms without getting tired from doing this, right? Throw your arms around it, and as you twist, bend your knees, twist for 2 to 3 minutes. You're watching it, the weight of it, your transverse muscles, the muscles that allow you to twist. That is easier than getting on the ground for something that's called the Russian twist, where you get on the ground, and this is the Russian twist, right? Okay, that's actually the easier version of it. You grab your broom, and that's a good exercise too. It's a good exercise too, but you grab your broom, take the handle off or leave it on there, throw your arms around it, and twist your transverse muscles, the muscles that allow you to twist, right? It's to get these, it's crazy, but you gotta work the obliques and your serratus that allow you to look like you have a wing up in here, right? Looks like you have a wing. Twist with that. What is applying the brakes to twist the other side is your transverse abdominal muscle. It is the wall. It is the belt. If you just hold your hands and you don't have anything, hold it right here. You could get a bottle of water. And as long as you hold it close to your body, here is easy. Here is intermediate. And this is a little more difficult. Put your songs on. Put your old disco songs, depending on how old you are. Some of you put your Soul Train on, whatever you do. However you do your vibe, put that on. The song's 2-3 minutes long. Twist and shout. Shout and twist. Whichever way you want to do it, it's up to you. Do it for 2-3 minutes. But again, if there's an exercise that you think, I need a machine for, I need a gym for, those say if you need to go out work out with somebody, if you got to go work out with somebody, that's psychological. You have no restraints on you.
Lucinda's on. Say hi.
You can be, hey, Prima, what's up? Long time no see, no meet, no chat, no text, no nothing. I love you. I'm sorry I don't do the same thing. I'm not reciprocating either. I don't call, I don't text, I don't chat, anything like that. Just saying hi. But if there's something that you think, any kind of, if there's a body part that you think you can't work out at home, especially females, I'm gonna tell you like this, females, y'all's in particular, it's a different exercise because women, you want, you know, when you start losing weight, y'all start singing that song, My Goodies, Not My Goodies. You're singing that song you don't want to lose. So it's a different exercise, and there's a different push-up that you can do for your pectoral muscles because believe it or not, females, you have the same pectoral muscles that guys have underneath the tissue and nerve endings that you have under there, and you want it to look right. You still have the same gluteus maximus that has to be worked out the same way. So your workout is just going to look a little different, but you can have what you want, but it's consistency. It isn't going hard for 2 hours. It isn't, I did 1,000 of these and 100 of those and 3. It's do a little something. A little drop of water every day goes a long way. That will cut into the rock instead of the bucket of water. But if there's something that I missed, or you think there's a body part that I could get that I didn't get, again, if there's something that you think you need a machine, you need a gym for, let me know. I could be wrong. I doubt it. Let me know something.
You guys can go on to my YouTube channel under Belinda0023. It's BELINDA0023. I'm going to be uploading a lot of his workout videos that he's done and that he will do. So that way we can concentrate more on specific body parts. But you guys leave a note for Eddie. Let him know that y'all enjoyed it and which extras y'all. Okay, so you guys leave a note for Eddie. Let him know which exercise you tried, which one worked for you, which one was too hard, what you'd like to see more of. And then I will definitely show him and he can make videos for you guys. Till next time, happy Sunday fun day. Y'all be good.